So you call yourself a light worker? These are the 5 things you need to be doing constantly if that's the case. Number 1, getting treatments all the time. You should be getting all the other treatments that you don't currently offer. This isn't just light workers. If you consider yourself devoutly spiritual, you need to be in the space. If you do not have the money to purchase services at least 3 or 4 times a year, then you need to use your value, your skill, and trade with other practitioners. This is really, really important, and there are a couple of reasons why. 1, you're going to be talking to people who know what you do. They believe what you do. You don't have to convince. You can really take your service to the next level when you're working with another practitioner, and you can bounce ideas off of each other. Also, it's going to be a different level of conversation and a different level of service. It activates you, and it always draws more into your experience that you can use just as much as you're serving and you're giving. Okay? You should be joining networks, finding other light workers. Omni Chakra Community is a really good social media app with light workers. And if you guys know of some great light worker communities you think people should be joining, put them in the comments. But this is really important, and work on trade as often as possible. I do astrology, human design, and gene keys. I'm always looking to work with hypnotherapists, psychics, mediums, tarot readers. Even talking to another astrologer is fun because you all have different perspectives and different insights. And when we work together and collaborate, we raise the frequency. And it's really important that you continuously clean out your vessel. And I'm going to tell you why with number 2. Okay. So one of our main jobs on our mission, no matter who you are, if you are a light worker or devoutly spiritual and you came here to make a change in the world, the thing that you're trying to do is we are filtering the energy from the collective and atom makers. We're atom makers, okay? So the energy comes through you. You don't get to determine what kind of energy comes through you. That is something else, or what kind of experience you have. You take that energy in and you transmute it, alchemize it into light, right? So you're an atom maker. You either neutralize the atom or you charge the atom, okay? And when you're charging this atom, you're either negatively charging this atom, causing disorganized patterns, disorganized systems, or you're positively charging this atom to make the proper changes in the world that are necessary right now, all right? What that means is you've got to stop picking sides in these systems, okay? And you're not a title on earth. You are a vessel. You chose a vessel to use to move through earth. It's all about learning to value your core beliefs while honoring that another person has their own identity, their own storyline, their own level of core beliefs that ain't got nothing to do with you. And whatever you pay attention to, your energy is currency for that experience, right? Whatever you water, you grow. Light worker, deeply spiritual people, you have a ton of currency. So when you focus on these systems of oppression, when you're mad about the chaos going on in the world, and you put your intention and your attention on dismantling these systems by being angry, or if you put your attention in these systems with fear or disempowerment, or you play into the victim storyline attached to that system, I'm going to get political for a second. No matter what side you're on, if you are playing into self-righteousness or victimhood, you are not honoring the beauty and the freedom of your being. And we cannot have freedom with any form of limitation. And you have to be able to 5D the experience, as in ascend for the split, and see the playing field outside of being in it. You cannot fight, okay? You cannot fight a system from within. Because if that system collapses and dismantles and you're in it, you go with it. A part of you goes with it, okay? You want to remove yourself from the systems. You want to find when you're facing energy of opposition. When you are facing energy where you feel that, let's say someone's trying to destroy the world, or you feel that you're right and someone else is wrong, or that these people have it coming, all of that energy, you are putting that into the system, only growing it and making it more chaos. You're feeding a field of chaos, all right? When you remove yourself and you realize that you are free and that you get to do what you want regardless of the system, because the system is a fabrication and the system is not real, and you can operate outside of that system that you feel like is oppressing you, and you find your personal power inside of yourself and realize that nothing can hold you back, then you remove yourself from that system, and you automatically, by removing your currency, you are participating in the dissolving of that system. And instead of focusing on what you don't want to see in the world by talking about it and activating it and complaining about it and crying about it and boasting about it and doing all of these things that is sending out this negative charge, right? Focus on what you actually want and grow that. Okay, so we've got to remove ourselves from our opinions on these systems because they don't apply to everybody, because everybody got their own perspective on this deal, and it's up to them to determine what to do with their journey, not up to you. All right, that one rose easily into number 3. You cannot have freedom with a limitation. And the only way you can participate in the freedom is if you give it to another person. You give it and then you receive it back. So no freedom if you put a limitation on something. So you cannot put a limitation on someone else's ideals, even if they do not agree with yours, because you are denying them their freedom to have it. Thus, they are denying you your freedom to have it, and you will feel just as entrapped as they do. Okay? No freedom. If they don't go together, those laws don't work together. You're free to make any decision you want on earth for the good of earth or for the bad of earth. It's your storyline. But if a collective amount of us determine what kind of earth we want to experience, we get to walk into that experience together. Okay? That comes to 3 is freedom without, you can't have freedom if you have a limitation. Number 4 is going to be, it is up to us to envision the world we want to see. You have to be able to see the big picture because we are building it in real time and walking through it. Everything going in the world is all of our collective energy playing out in real time, okay? And if you see, you have to understand that when you participate in the system in a storyline, because thoughts create things. If you think that there is a villain in the world, it's like you become the knight and that's the dragon. You will continuously have to fight and you will continuously have to slay, which is a waste of your energy. You'd be better off focusing in another direction, allowing it to dissolve on its own because you're not watering it with your attention, and putting that energy, instead of slaying the dragon, just you could move around the dragon and save the prince or princess, all right? But in this scenario, we are meant to build the world that we want to see. The world with clean food, the world with clean air, the world with happy people, the world where people feel like they can express and be themselves and live joyfully and peacefully and in harmony in their environment, right? And you've got to keep your eye on the prize as we go through the chaos. So you've got to see, and these are serving as examples of where the collective is, everything you see in the world, all the chaos, right? It's serving examples of where the chaos is. And it's your job to say, oh, this is giving me the divine opportunity to determine what I actually want to see, what I actually want to experience. I don't have to go down that storyline. This is giving me the divine opportunity to transform, transmute, and alchemize an energy for the greater good. And that is how we built the new earth. That is how we built the new world. You can see the shift. It's here, folks. We're in the middle of it, all right? We're going to be here. And you will see people picking sides. And you think that the sides have to do with politics, then you are missing the whole point. It's much bigger than that, okay? And these parts of these storylines that are playing out are just smaller expressions of bigger energy. How the examples are, you could look at it on the 3D level, or you can just bring yourself up to 5D and start seeing it as patterns of expression to break down systems. Systems can be broken down if people feel too oppressed. Systems can be broken down if people feel too much red tape. It squeezes it in so that they can expand, all right? So it's going to be a squeeze before an expansion. So if you are feeling squoze, you're about to expand. If you feel like during this time this is actually an expansion, then go with the expansion, but do not go in that direction from a self-righteous perspective, thinking that you know everything and other people don't. We are at the beginning of truth telling and unveiling, and far more storylines are going to be coming out to let you know there are no sides to choose. You got to choose yourself, your community, your family, the earth, spirit, source, and the higher good. That's the center. Right? It's not extreme on either end. It's right there in the center, knowing that everything does have to play out. There is chaos on the field, but you steady, baby. You know how to move through the storm, right? And if you don't know how to move through the storm, Source is conditioning you to better move through the storm by giving you the storm and allowing you to get to the other side of the storm. And you're saying, oh, I'm still okay. All right, I'm still here. Let's get moving. All right? So constantly just imagine this beautiful world that you want to live in, right? What does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? What's on TV? What people eating? Where people going? You know? Take it there and dream big. Meditation is not optional. It is absolutely required. I don't want to hear that you can't meditate. That is an illusion and a false belief implanted to make you feel like you can't do it. Meditation is not closing your eyes and sitting there, okay? It is literally taking your energy and locking it with the energy so that you are aligned with your environment. If you can understand that it's only a connection to the greater portions of your being, all of your creation, the larger expression of your aura, it's not about anything else. There is a snap into place or a connection that you want to make every freaking day, okay? Abraham Hicks says, get into the vortex. It's all about getting into the energy that you want to experience all day and getting on the higher plane so that you can experience the miracle that is this experience, all right? This reality. When you get higher, it will start seeming like miracles. You will see more synchronicities. You will have more experiences, and you will feel like you are going through the evolvement process in the right direction. All right. So I want you to find a way to click into place every day. For some of us, it is sitting down and quieting our thoughts and allowing us to know that we are observing our thoughts. That's all you're doing. You're recognizing that if you're thinking the thought, you can't think the thought and be the thought and hear the thought all at the same time. If those thoughts aren't yours, you start observing them and you start determining which ones you want in and which ones you don't. Okay, the ones that are giving you motivation and making you feel good and giving you good insight, you want to keep those. The ones that aren't, you want to get rid of those and ignore them and let them pass through you. If you think of it as just like you're an antenna and there's just a whole bunch of information coming through, you determine your radio station. All right. Now, walking in nature, that's a meditation. Playing with your dogs can be a meditation. Dancing, singing, meditation, meditation, meditation. Breathe with Sandy on YouTube. Excellent. A breathing exercise that will propel you straight into the meditation. They're for everything from 10 minutes to an hour. You can choose your journey, and it's an easy, super amazing, good feeling way to get into the journey. All right. Next thing is other ways to meditate. Obviously, yoga, Tai Chi, any body movement. You could meditate by sitting on the porch with coffee and just quiet and listening to the birds for 15 minutes. It's all about intentionally setting time to align with your creation so that you can experience more of it. Any way you want to do that, you create the rules and you determine, all right? You will feel you should feel better when you finish, okay? A cold shower blast works wonders sometimes to click you right into place, all right? A shower, a bath, anything, self-care. I think I gave you 5. but I'm going to add this, and let's just lump it in here, okay? Self-care. Self-care, self-care, self-care. With the getting the spiritual services, you have to be cleaning your vessel, cleaning your home. I have to remember this constantly to clean my house. And I mean clean it spiritually and rid the clutter. Detoxing the house, detoxing the body, detoxing all of the energy around you is incredibly important right now. Because you are more spiritual, because you are a light worker, you got a lot of energy. You're going to magnetize all kinds of stuff, and it's going to want to be with you because you feed it. That's just the truth. All right, good and bad. And so you want to ensure that you are cleaning your vessel. You want to be sure that you are spending time on the self, with the self, honoring this avatar on this journey so that you can ensure that your tires ain't squeaking and your oil don't need to be changed. All right. That can include anything from doing detoxes with spirulina, which binds to heavy metals. If you really, like if you went out drinking the night before, you ate something that you don't really align with that, well, activated charcoal at night. If you're not taking any medication, it'll sweep it right out of your system. Be very diligent with your detoxing. Be very diligent with your eating as best as you can based on your financial experience and situation. If you feel like your finances aren't in the right place to buy everything organic or grass-fed, I mean, it's very expensive, right? Then honoring a detox and trying to get in more electrolytes and more minerals is your best bet to ensure that your body is charged, your body is clean, your body is rearing to go. And when you do charge this vessel up and you get more energy in here, what the funny thing has happened is easier to stay in alignment all day. It's easier to get into the zone. Most of your time in the morning is spent getting into the zone before you do anything, okay? Because if you don't do it in the zone, it's not necessarily going to be as fruitful as it could be, all right? Those are all that I have for you. Again, Lightworker communities, if you know of any and you think that they're great, I'm going to have Omni Chakra's link below that you can get to and access. And I'll also have Breathe with Sandy there. If you have any other things that you do besides a traditional meditation that you want to share, add it here. Like, subscribe, comment. Please do all of the things. And that is all that I have for you today. You know, we have a course, Manifestation Mastery. Teach you all about your energy. Teach you how to get through the dark night of the soul. Go online if you need to get your human design or your astrology reading. You can get that for free on the website. And stay tuned for more. I have a retreat coming up to help you with vision boarding and astrology.